The story of the Texas Rangers. Look at the narration. I should probably write in my notes when I'm referencing. So let's see. Listing notes. Texas Rangers. A bracket there. The story of the Texas Rangers by Walter Prescott Webb. I'm very excited. The cat keeps hitting or scratching on my door. This is why this is slow going. Come on. Okay. Let's try that again. See, this is why you should never quit your writing or your research just because you keep getting disturbed. Every small step gets you closer to your goal. Remember that. This is why we wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So we can get some stuff done before writing or before life, work, kids, animals, fur babies. This is beautiful. I have to show you this. Hold on. Let's turn this on. Just one of them. Hi, kitty. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay. Kitty. Come on. Come on. Don't just. So I have no idea what happened here, but basically what I'm showing you is a illustration of the Texas Rangers defending Texas and their economy, and it's got a background photo of the trains. But in the meantime, have fun working on any project you are working on, whether it's working on a novel, studying, crocheting, whatever it is you like to do that feeds your soul and gives you life. I will catch you again in a few minutes. my microphone stopped working, but we're gonna work with it. So it occurred to me that since I'm reading about the 1800s right now, I can take notes with my quill. Let's give it a try. It might be a little messy, but we're gonna give it a go. Just get immersive. Let's see. We'll put it on this little dish. That's my ink. Because ink can be very messy. Let's see. See? Already getting messy. It's okay, I have something. I have a Duck Dynasty handkerchief. Yep. Okay. That's my quill. Isn't that pretty? I got it for Christmas one year. Braytac, calm down. Alright, so I was writing something down before I got disturbed. Let's see if we can find it. I was reading about the Comanches. The Comanches and the Apaches were their enemies, and that war with them was war to the death. Since these Indians were such fine horsemen, the Texans had to become horsemen too, in order to cope with their foes. It may be said that the Indians, today known as Native Americans, but we're reading history, so I'm going to be in context to history here, okay? I'm not trying to offend anybody. Let's see. It may be said that the Indians, Comanches, and Apaches chiefly put the Texas Rangers on horseback and kept them there until the last Indian battle fought in the Devil's Mountain in far west Texas in 1881. 1881. So my novel is based in 1917. So let's see. 17 minus, let me see, 7 minus 1 is 6, and then 9 minus 8 is 1. That's 16 years from 1917 or 1881 to 1917. So basically, a Texas Ranger would still be alive then, and probably would have been enraged when they heard about the Zimmerman telegram. Probably worried that all their hard work would have been for naught, just feeling the injustice of it all. Why couldn't people just get along? Well, I mean, I suppose I kind of get it. Like, the Comanches and the Apaches live very differently than the white men, as we call it. We need to find a better term than white men. It just sounds so great. I think I'm peach. See? I've got peach colors. Anyway. But when Stephen Austin migrated like 300 families into Texas, they basically were just infested the land, which were the Apaches and the Comanches' hunting ground, and they didn't like it. And because they lived so differently, they were not very nice people. There was a lot of killing, there was a lot of torture,
And that's when the Texas Rangers were born, because we had to do something about it, you know, or they had to do something about it, you know. And then, you know, when when the white men took over their hunting ground, you know, the Comanches and the Apaches were thinking, we have to do something about it. Or they, sorry. I'm immersed. I'm having a great time. So you could see it on both sides. I think it would have been nice from the start to just find a way to communicate and be like, hey, you're in our hunting ground. Our food is gone. Uh, you either need to help us or something, because y'all are infesting our land. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how the Comanches and the Apaches saw it. They probably saw it as an infestation and an intrusion. Um, it's really sad. Let's give this Quill a try. Let's see. I want to write that part down. Let's see. There we go. Wish me luck. It's been a while since I've used this. Let's see. So I'm writing down keywords so that I can review them throughout the day and soak in the information. It takes up to seven times to review something in order to let it sink in. And you got to really digest what you're reading. Like, think about what you've read. Let's see. The Devil's Mountain. That is so cool. That is a cool name. Okay, it worked great, except for the first part. There was a there was a drop hiding behind on the back of the quill. It made a huge dot. You see that right there? But that's okay. I will dab it, and I'll probably dab it going that way. But I'll know what I'm saying. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Gotta be very careful. I wonder if I could. Nope. I blotched the whole thing. The whole is okay. Oh dear. The word "the" is not very important. Let's see. This is fun. What time is it? Let me see. I have to wake my daughter up in about 10 minutes. But I hope you're getting some fun study time or writing time or whatever it is you're working on. I'm pretty sure you're not up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but hey, whatever you're doing, it counts at whatever time you're doing it. All right, so that's really cool. I love that. So I'm working on a scene with a sermon about the Zimmerman telegram, and basically the pastor is being a little manipulative, trying to get young men to enlist into the Great War, and I want him to point certain people out, or I want to incorporate conversations among the men. So I can imagine how at that time a Texas Ranger would have been like, I was there at the Devil's Mountain, you know, like, this is our home. We've built so much, and, you know, like, it's your civil duty to bring justice. And So I think it would be really cool. And I love how there's certain quotes in here and how the Rangers spoke. Like, for example, and I'm using it as an example because I want to be as accurate as possible. But it reads, "It's hard to stand up again a man that is in the right and keeps on a coming." So it's like again, AGIN apostrophe instead of AGAIN, and then coming, COMIN apostrophe. It's very much like y'all, Y apostrophe ALL, which I use a lot. So there's a lot of great lingo on here and how they spoke in that time, and I am just eating it up. I hope I can read some more about the natives. Very excited to hear about that, if I do. Because if possible, I would like to incorporate a couple scenes with a few of them here and there, and how we got along with the natives during that time. Let's see what else we got. I mean, Texas has such a rich and tragic history. We don't focus on it very much. Even in Texas history, there's clippets of it, but a lot of what I've read in history books, it just felt like tainted cliff notes. It didn't really go in depth, and I think that's why I phased over it so hard, because I love in-depth story. That's why research is important. Let's see, the other neighbors, Mexicans in San Antonio and south of the Rio Grande, also became enemies of Texans. So the Americans, the Mexicans, not good. They did not like the white men. And I can imagine how the white men were like, yeah, they don't like us because we're civilized, probably. Like, maybe a little more advanced, but they had their own kind of, I mean, I believe at the time, even today, we all have our own kind of prejudice and violence. It doesn't always have to be physical. I hear footsteps. It's smudged again. I wonder how they kept their ink from smudging back in the day. Probably sand. Let's see if that works. Let's see. Ooh. That worked. Let's see. Quote. that concludes our study session for the day. I'm very happy with the notes I made, and it is time for me to get some breakfast. I'm very hungry. Y'all have a wonderful day.